Thank you for being here. So we'll count to 4, and we'll breathe in for 6, we'll hold for 2, and then exhale out for 6, okay? And then we'll repeat that process. So the count of 4, we will start. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was great. Now continue to breathe in and out, and continue to look at the screen. Thank you for being here.
Is currently going viral because of the necklace she was wearing when she was giving an update of the Los Angeles fires.
All right, let's see it.
She is currently wearing an upside-down cross. She's on the board of supervisors for Los Angeles County, and she is the ex-mayor of West Hollywood.
This is Lindsay Horvath, and she is not wearing an upside-down cross. She is wearing a St. Bridget's cross, which is associated with Ireland. It's associated with Notre Dame, and Lindsay is a 2004 graduate of the University of Notre Dame. And here's another photo of her where you can see more clearly. It's not an upside-down cross. The little ring that attaches the necklace to the cross just extends the one arm of the cross to make it look like that one is a little longer, thus making it look like an upside-down cross. If you spent 90 seconds doing any competent research on this, you would have figured out what's really going on here.
Now, I know the upside-down cross can mean a number of things. It could mean the St. Peter's cross, but it could also mean a lot of other things.
It's not a St. Peter's cross, it's a St. Bridget's cross, and it means absolutely nothing else.
Now, I feel like someone that is on TV a lot, especially talking about a very important subject, especially being the ex-mayor of West Hollywood, I feel like they know that wearing something like this would bring controversy because it's not something you see very often, and of course because of the meanings.
Yes, it is definitely always your fault if the way you always look, dress, and act is publicized in a way that allows a bad faith actor to maliciously twist something into some idiotic conspiracy theory that they can exploit for clout on social media.
But I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this.
I'm very curious to know when y'all are going to grow the hell up and learn to think critically and Google competently. And the fit for this video is my data over dogma tee.
And out of nowhere, you see the fire appear across Lake Street, and you can see it going up the mountain on our side within an hour. For it to move that quickly and that rapidly, and for it to shift past that fast was insane.
It was like a hurricane, just fire, no water, but like 80 miles an hour plus. It felt surreal.
Was the fire like racing down the hill at that point?
Yeah.
That's what's scary about this. It just was shooting.
Like a blowtorch?
Like a blowtorch. It was literally just shooting off of the mountain. It felt like you're being attacked by a storm.
Welcome. This is Majesty Sussex Report. I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. Well, this is part two, and I reviewed part one and thought, well, I don't think I have much more to say on this particular topic. But what I do want to do is sort of bring it all together, have a sort of closing. And then um, what I want to discuss is that Vanity Fair article. Don't read it, please. I'm going to give you my review, and there's no need for you to click or go read it or anything like that. Let's not give them any more attention. Okay? So here is my sort of wrap up of Justine Bateman's Hate Train. Um, we've defined disaster tourism and ambulance chasers, and let's be clear: Harry and Meghan are neither. Their actions in the California wildfires were about service, compassion, and a genuine desire to help those in need. They worked quietly alongside first responders and relief organizations, not for publicity, but because that's who they are. Justine Bateman's words were not chosen carelessly. She knew exactly what she was doing. These terms, loaded, inflammatory, and cruel, were weaponized with intent. She latched on to narratives that are explored daily in the media, the tabloids, newspapers, and morning shows that profit from the hate machine built around the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan. And now, like clockwork, she suddenly is relevant. Justine Bateman, the queen of the haters, has stepped inside to make sure the spotlight is on her, the spotlight that she so desperately sought. But here's what's glaring: her selective outrage. Where was her criticism for Jennifer Garner, who was also volunteering and doing the same work as Harry and Meghan? Where is her outrage about Eva Longoria and many others? The silence is telling. It's not about the act of helping, it's about who is helping. And that exposes the truth. This was never about the wildfires. This was about attacking two people who dared to live their lives with purpose, defying the narratives that the media and its loyal messengers tried to impose on them. So, to Justine Bateman and anyone else riding on the hate train, know this: service isn't performative when it's rooted in compassion. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, track record speaks for itself. Their actions have uplifted countless lives, from Grenfell Tower to California, from World Central Kitchen to Project Angel Food. They are a symbol of resilience, kindness, and purpose. And what will your legacy be, Justine? A moment of relevancy built on pettiness and falsehoods? Or will you reflect, rise above, and use your platform to promote something greater than yourself? To the rest of us, from the bottom of my heart, let this be a reminder: words have power, and the way we decide to use them matters, really does. Let's choose to uplift, to support, and to speak the truth. Because in the end, it's not the critics who matter, it's the doers, the helpers, and the ones who show up when it counts. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, showed up. That's what history will remember.
You are the sum of the experiences of your ancestors. So there was this experiment done on mice. Basically, pregnant mice were exposed to electrical shock at the same time of being exposed to the scent of cherry blossom. Now, those baby mice, when they smelled the scent of cherry blossom, their body reacted as if they were exposed to electrical shock. And guess what? Their babies did the same, and their babies did the same, and their babies did the same. So you might be reacting to things in this reality that your ancestors experienced. That's why ancestral healing is so important. It's epigenetics. Things that they experienced are impacting you in ways that you might not even realize. It's science. It's not even woo.
Anna Peele's Vanity Fair article ostensibly aims to provide a reflective view of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 5 years after their royal exit. However, what is presented as an in depth exploration is in reality a hodgepodge of recycled tabloid tropes, questionable sources, and narrative framing that undermines the credibility and objectivity expected of Vanity Fair. Obsession with material wealth and opulence, the article's opening salvo detailing the Sussexes' Montecito home, its cost, square footage, and fireplaces immediately evokes tabloid sensationalism. Peele's fixation on the home's price, 14 plus $1 million, and its European fireplace, stripped of any potentially uncomfortable context, she writes, does little to offer meaningful insight. Instead, it indulges in voyeuristic commentary designed to provoke envy or disdain. Such descriptions might suit a gossip column, but their inclusion here reflects a superficial lens through which Peele views her subjects.
The House proved it. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex could have it all. Their Montecito home offered all the fresh promises of a 21st century California mansion and the cloistering of a gated neighborhood from which they could emerge on their own terms. In the house's 13 fireplaces, described as mostly centuries-old examples brought over from France, there was even some European history, stripped of any potentially uncomfortable context. At $14.65 million for more than 18,000 square feet, half the current median price per square foot in Montecito, Rockbridge was a steal. The oligarch owner's romantic relationship had deteriorated to the point where he was compelled to offload far below market value, according to a source with knowledge, and the property seemed just right for the Duke and Duchess, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle. It was the perfect launchpad for Archwell, their nonprofit and entertainment studio, an approximation of a part noblesse oblige, part aspiring independently wealthy mogul model, one that Elizabeth, Charles, and William rejected by fiat during the January 2020 Sandringham Summit.
The overuse and dubious credibility of anonymous sources. Peele's reliance on unnamed sources permeates the article, casting doubt on its veracity. Phrases like a source with knowledge, and someone inside the couple's circle littered the narrative, offering unsubstantiated claims that readers cannot independently verify. For instance, the claim that Meghan's workplace relationships followed a familiar pattern of initial warmth followed by withholding is presented without concrete evidence. Peele's willingness to forego such unverifiable assertions undermines the article's credibility. Rather than breaking new ground, Peele's regurgitates familiar tabloid narratives. Her critique of the couple's Spotify deal, for instance, echoes long debunked claims of contractual failures without acknowledging the global success of Meghan's Archetypes podcast. Archetypes, which topped charts worldwide and dethroned Joe Rogan for the number one spot, is glaringly absent from Peele's narrative. This omission smacks of bias, as acknowledging such achievements would contradict the article's overarching theme of Sussex failure.
One of the people who spoke with VF for this story says they signed a non-disclosure agreement to be employed by Harry and Meghan. A person who worked closely with the couple and loves them says, "I have no idea what Harry's interests are beyond polo. No clue what his inner life is like." The development process was challenging. The former Spotify employee says they had this idea to do a podcast because they knew celebrities did them, a category differentiated between celebrities who get a lot of money to begin podcasting, like Harry and Meghan, and celebrities who get large deals after proving themselves to be capable podcasters, like Smartless's Will Arnett, Sean Hayes, and Jason Bateman.
The disproportionate focus on the Spotify deal, highlighting one disgruntled executive remarks while ignoring Archetype's accolades, reveals Peele's selective reporting. By failing to contextualize these criticisms within the broader success of the couple's ventures, the article skews reality to fit its narrative. Similarly, Peele's neglect to explore the Sussexes' significant philanthropic initiatives, such as Prince Harry's Invictus Games, which she mentions briefly, and Meghan's mentorship program, which she also mentions. But for Meghan, she says, as everything Meghan does, it grabs her attention for 1 minute, and then once she's done, she's done. Or if she loses interest, oh well, she moves on. I'll give her credit for at least acknowledging the success of the Invictus Games. The omission of the Sussexes' daily struggles with relentless media scrutiny and online abuse is another critical flaw. Peele's narrative would have readers believe that the couples that the couple operates in a vacuum, ignoring the hostile environment they face. The portrayal of Meghan's naivete and Harry's supposed lack of deep intellect, basically, dismisses their documented resilience in navigating these challenges. Peele's decision to sideline these realities renders her portrayal simplistic and misleading. The article's timing raises suspicions about its intent. Published just as Meghan's Netflix series With Love, Meghan was set to premiere, and ahead of Prince Harry's legal case against News Group Newspapers, NGN, a Murdoch company. The piece seems designed to reunite negative narratives about the couple. This pattern is hardly new. The media and their allies have a history of amplifying negative press about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, whenever significant moments in their lives, such as a legal battle or a new project, are imminent. Now, Justine Bateman, recent unprovoked critique of the Sussexes, seized upon by every major UK outlet, serves as another example of this coordinated effort. Peele's use of language and framing, such as the condescending, in brackets here, they wanted a big theme that would explain the world, but they had no ideas. End of quote. Betrays a clear bias. The juxtaposition of such commentary with lavish praise for unnamed detractors further compounds the issue.
In general, thank you for everything you've done for me, for everything you've done for me. My mother told me and my siblings when we were young kids. I remember it was when my older brother started secondary school. It was a big deal. My older brother going off to the big boy school. And my mum sat us down. She said, if you're ever in trouble out there in the real world, look for a black woman. My mum said this. My mum was raised in this country from the age of 6, the UK. She said, look for a black woman. She said, anywhere in the world, a black woman will help you. She was never wrong. But it's incredible that my mother said that. And I don't know what my mum went through. But I remember seeing photos of my mum in school when she was in high school and stuff. And she had loads of black friends and stuff. And they were all black women. So she obviously felt some protection. And growing up for me, I noticed in my school, it was a very predominantly white school. The black teachers looked out for me. I had a black Jamaican teacher called Mrs. Forrester. She looked out for me. But even outside of school, when I started growing out my hair, it was a black woman that taught me how to look after my curls, what products to use. I am trying to make a point here, and it's that black women get treated the worst, by the medical field, by the education field, by the police, by everything. Yet they're the ones that give the most love. We don't give credit where credit is due. We really don't. And thank you to especially thank you to the Jamaican community, because there was this Jamaican woman who helped my grandmother. And that's a different story. And just black women in general, thank you for everything you've done for me, for everything you've done for my mother.
Peele's attempt to lend gravitas to her piece through flowery prose often falls flat. Her description of the Sussexes challenges as, in brackets, going from divinely chosen to startup founders in exile exemplifies this tendency. The overall phrasing does little to mask the article's lack of substantive analysis and instead invites ridicule. If anything, Peele's verbose style serves to underline the vacuity of her arguments. Despite its length, Peele's article offers little new or substantive information about the Sussexes. Instead of providing a balanced exploration of their lives and achievements, it perpetuates tabloid narratives and sensationalist tropes. This approach not only discredits Vanity Fair, but also underscores the challenges faced by Harry and Meghan encountering such portrayals. Anna Peele's article is a study, well, a case study rather, in how not to write objective, insightful journalism. Its reliance on anonymous sources, recycling of tabloid narratives, unbalanced focus on con- controversies, and lack of context combined to create a piece that prioritizes sensationalism over truth. As readers, we deserve better from a publication of Vanity Fair's stature. Until journalists like Peele are held accountable for such biased reporting, the Sussexes will remain unfairly caricatured in the public eye, a disservice to them and to readers seeking the truth. It's too bad. Too bad. I mean, this piece, she says that the staff working on the Spotify on archetypes needed to take breaks um, for their mental break because, well, they needed. Can you imagine if Meghan and Harry, two people that understand what it is like to be mentally abused, and who at the same time are very outspoken voices about mental health. And you're telling me that they are intentionally causing such stress to staff that when Archetype was finished filming or done, everyone went into therapy or had to take a mental. Like, come on, folks, come on. Like, do you really think that? And this continued trope of Meghan being this ambitious Jezebel, this sort of Hollywood hungry person. I mean, the author even implies, she names a bunch of people, Oprah, blah 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 blah, who live in the Montecito area, were quite happy without, the arrival of Meghan and Harry, because they have now put Montecito on the map, and the people who live there don't really want the name of Montecito even be known. And then the person that she speaks with, right, about the neighbor and they're this, they're that one, sounds quite familiar to the same person. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying just sounds quite familiar to that same person who was in that not documentary out of Germany, right? And the same person who who was formerly an editor or whatever he was for the Daily Mail or one of the tabloid. there isn't any, even when she tries to touch on some of the challenges, she barely touches it with her pinky finger. And she doesn't quite get any of the harassment, their own security measures that they have to take. It's quite a fail. But we all know why that article was ready to go. It was because this week we would all be talking about With Love, Meghan, the Netflix series, and they had to make sure they reminded the crazies. Here is some here is some here is some here is some juice. Here is some juice for you to go on online and start criticizing and saying all these things and repeating the same crap over and over and over and over again, right?
If, I guess, you don't count the overwhelming portion of their beautiful lives that exists outside of Daily Mail headlines and blog comment sections. If Harry's burden is the soft oppression of no expectations, Meghan's might be the opposite, the betrayal of not living up to an unachievable ideal. I think the whole world was waiting for her to be that person, and then she never jumped, the source who worked in media says. Diana walked amongst landmines. Meghan couldn't even say the word slut.
Well, my friends, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm getting better. My voice is still not back. I am feeling a little bit better, but still a little bit crappy. But I should hopefully be well in the next day or two. Um, thank you all for the good wishes, and thank you all for the um, what's the word I'm looking for? Holistic remedies, which I love. And anything that involves ginger, anything that involves lemon, I'm up for it because I love ginger and I love lemon. So, ay ay ay. This is what happens when you kiss frogs. No, I was not kissing a frog. The frog is in my throat. That's where it is. Well, take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. And remember to breathe, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on. Just breathe. One thing at a time. And as always, we keep the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, in our prayers. Prince Archie, Princess Lilibeth, Doria, and all those who are in their ecosystem that are there for good. Okay? All right. Until we speak again, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.